What's going on, guys? I just wanted to do a little test. I know it's late. It's 1 a.m. for me. I don't know about you guys, but I did a few things. I did an upgrade on my microphone. I got a compressor pretty much built into it now, which is pretty nice. Let me know how I sound. And I actually just upgraded to the, I guess you could call it premium level of the StreamYard. So now I can stream on my YouTube channel, Facebook, and wherever else I want to go. So I know it's late. I know there's not going to be too many people on, but figured I'd hang out. Oh, and check out the little Live and Loud thing on the top there. Right there. I think that's pretty cool. Got rid of that StreamYard guy. He was cool and all, but had to go. It's weird seeing people on Facebook here. What's going on, Chrissy McCracken? What's going on out in Missouri? Thanks for tuning in. No one home. Bobby B. Sounds good, Andy. Thanks, man. I try to tweak it a little bit. I didn't want to go too crazy, but it works. Thank you. Yeah, I just wanted, I do this all the time, and I'm like, you know what, I'm not going to go live. And this time I'm like, well, I want to try it, and might as well hang out. I ain't doing nothing. Everyone's sleeping, so thank you, guys. Yeah, if you guys have any car audio questions or just want to talk about something, I'll hang out for a little while here. It's cool. Usually whenever I stream this late, it's on TikTok. And you'd be surprised how many people are actually on TikTok watching lives, because, I feel like a lot of people aren't just from the United States tuning in on lives on TikTok. They're from all over the world, so it might be 5 o'clock in the afternoon for them. And, yeah. Jeff Wallace, what's going on, man? Tona Carr just stopped by to say hi. What's going on, man? How you been? How's the system running? I haven't seen you in a little while. Awesome. I know, I wish you could go live on TikTok on the computer. That's what really drives me nuts. I have to use my cell phone. I actually had it one time where I had my cell phone hooked up and through a dongle to use my USB microphone, and I feel like it messed up a few of the settings because of the computer and just how things work. And so I'm not going to do that again, but it did work. But the Sony ZV-1 picture quality is hard to beat, so. I know, I'm trying to think what else to talk about. Shoot, literally I just got everybody to bed. I started taking care of the fish tanks, and I'm like, you know what? I want to try the Elgato Wave 3 new plugins, because it just came out like a week ago, not even. And I got an update on my computer and said, hey, you can upgrade your microphone with plugins with this update. And I'm like, okay. So I downloaded it, and then I didn't know how to use it. So I went to my one guy I always watch for the Elgato microphone. That's the reason why I bought it. I watched a lot of reviews, but I liked his. I forget his name. Maybe I can bring it up in a minute, but he is really good with microphones and streaming and stuff. He used to really do Twitch, but I went to him today. I was like, I got to see if he has anything on this. I know he would. And I checked it out. And of course, 2 days ago, had a video on it. So I'm like, okay, cool. Watched it. Wow, super easy. Okay, just download this. Automatic search. It'll pull up the plugin. I'm good to go. And yeah, it's really easy. I might do a video on this Elgato Wave. I really think it's a nice microphone if you are going to do any kind of podcasting or YouTube videos, stuff like that. It's not, you can't walk around with it, but it works really good. And what's cool about it is it has all these plugins, like how you can hear the music in the background and do all this stuff just on this. Instead of having, 5 million wires, it's all in one. Now, is the quality going to be an XLR, microphone or whatever? No. But for the price, for $160 altogether, I paid $130 for this one. Couldn't pass it up. Jeff Wallace, been busy saving up for an L7. An L7X or just an L7? That's awesome, though, man. They're awesome subs, man. I kind of miss not having mine in Kayla's car, and I kind of use them for the, the test bench and stuff like that, so I can, pretty much test all 4 channels of an amplifier or 2, and I have more versatility having 2 woofers instead of 1 for, how I do my testings. So it kind of stinks, but you can only have so many subs. So she has a 15 in there now, and it works. Spencer, what's going on, man? Andy, late night. Absolutely. This is pretty normal for me. I'm usually up till about 3 or 4 in the morning. I work late nights, so I'm always up. Jeffy, what's going on, man? It's weird seeing me on Facebook now, right? It's pretty cool. I love the StreamYard premium package. It's the basic, but I'm paying for it now. I mean, with you guys, supporting me through Patreon and just the donations, it's like, you know what? Why not? I might as well do it. $25 a month. It's worth it. Yeah, go to bed. We got work in 17 hours. Don't remind me. I don't want to go to work. It's Sunday, man. It's Sunday. Steelers won. It was a great day today. That's the thing with the Steelers, man. You think they're going to win, and then they lose. And then vice versa. You think, oh, man, we're going to get creamed. Holy crap, we won that game. Jeffy, I've heard Elgato is one of the best cheap brands, just like... Oh, no, he didn't. Love you, Jeffy. Oh, yeah, by the way, I fixed the bike, but it still is acting up, so I bought a gas cap. Maybe that'll fix it. If not, I just got to have the guy fix the card, man. L7X. Absolutely, man. Yeah, definitely save up for that one. Bobby B. Base never sleeps. Never does, man. Start it right up. She's ready to go. That too. My Lions won again. You know what? I was talking to Bill, because Bill, he's not a Steeler fan, but he watches football like I do. And I seen him say something about the Lions, because I was talking about the Steeler game while it was happening. And I guess they won. Who did they play? I know the Jets lost to the Texans. But yeah, the Lions, I mean, that game was something too with the Steelers, man. Aaron T, what is going on, man? Just hanging out, just testing the new upgraded StreamYard. As you can see, we have the premium. I have people, commenting from Facebook. I have it streaming through my YouTube, through my Living Loud with Andy Facebook page, and just my personal profile, because I know a lot of baseheads are on there. Just hanging out, man. Might as well throw an extra stream in, why not? Part of the dynamic duo is here. Half a 14.4 volt talk is in effect. So we got, 7.7 volts here? Not too bad. Thanks for tuning in, 25. We're just, like I said, we're just hanging out. I just wanted to test out the premium StreamYard, my new compression plug-in on my microphone, and just hang out. I wanted to go live on TikTok, but it just drives me nuts because I can't use my camera. And if you're an audiophile or a videophile and you have certain things and you have a lot of money invested into it too, and then you have to go back to something crappier, it's really hard on you. I'm sure you guys would understand. It's like if you would have like a wall outside, 418s, and then it's like, oh no, just for this you have to ride, some crappy system, and it's like, okay, I guess it works, but if I could just do that, why can't I just do that instead? You think TikTok would be on this stuff? Cardinals, what? The Lions beat the man, Cardinals are falling apart. I was rooting on the Cardinals for an NFC team for the Super Bowl, and yeah, if you're losing to the Lions, Lions ain't nothing to sneeze at. They have a team, but it's still, it's sad. It's sad. I know James Conner did really good last week. I don't know what happened. Jeff Wallace, what's different about the new StreamYard? I don't see anything different on our side. Okay, well, as you're watching on YouTube, which is perfectly fine. That's how I want to really be known as on YouTube for my streaming. But figure to, get some more words out through other platforms. So I can stream on 3 different platforms or 3 different areas. So you can do Twitch and other stuff, but I have 2 on Facebook and my YouTube channel here. And then if you look on the top left here, the little bird guy is gone. I have my own little icon. So, you pay for that. You can stream more than 20 hours. You can have more than 6 people. I mainly did it so I could stream on different areas and I guess change up the icon. It really wasn't bothering me, but that's pretty much the main difference. TikTok and you don't stop. Oh, they stop you though whenever they you put up something they don't like, man. I've never been banned on Facebook, but I got, community guidelines on TikTok for basehead videos that were already on Facebook. It was pretty sad. So I slowed down on the TikTok. I gotta wait till April. Tape deck. Yeah, literally, like going from your FLAC file to, oh, here's a tape adapter for you. No. Try, stream, and practice. Absolutely. I mean, the idea of being able to stream on other platforms is so that, people may not follow you on YouTube. So when you're streaming on all these platforms, and then, obviously I'm going to talk about my channel and the other people are going to be in the chat, you're going to see the comments from YouTube popping up. And then you're like, whoa, this guy's on YouTube. Let me go check him out. So it just, you can get your name out there a little bit easier, I think. Just with that alone. Plus, it'll help my, not so much my personal profile, because that doesn't matter, but like my Living Loud with Andy Facebook page, so there's something on there too. Because like you can upload stuff, but I have maybe 7 or 8 pages. Most car audio, and some are just other stuff. And they really struggle. Pages are very hard to push with the algorithm. You got to stay on it and put up content, have people engage, just like anything. A group is a little bit different because then you have other people contributing. So it keeps, if people are contributing, making posts in groups, 5 people may see it and then they go and interact. And then that's how many people contributing. When you have a page, it's one person posting and then hoping that everyone contributes that sees it. And if they don't like what you post and they keep scrolling, Facebook's like, okay, that person doesn't want to see it anymore. Pages are very hard. But for just streaming purposes, it's not a problem. Some people don't want to be on YouTube, or they just are scrolling on Facebook and might not get a notification from YouTube. So they be on Facebook and they see it through their feed. Oh, look, Andy's live. Oh, that's cool. Click on it, watch it for a minute. I'm going to watch this on YouTube so I don't lose my spot, because Facebook's known for that too. Bobby B, Andy, thoughts? I'm making a test bench. You and El Fuego, man, that's awesome. I love test benches, or just anything 12 volt and 110 volt scenario. Love it. AKA your house. I have an old metal desk I'm going to use. Need to put a new top. Was thinking of 1/4 inch laminated particle board. Yeah, I would definitely not have a metal table because of just, you could ground it out. You could have your positive wire and just happen to hit it on a table and it might ground it out. You could do the particle board. The 1/4 inch should be fine. It's just the main thing is, you got that top covered. Make sure you got the sides too. That's the main thing I would look into, just because you're messing with electricity. That's cool though, man. Yeah, definitely, dude, grab that power supply that I have. I mean, I know it's like 150, 180 bucks or whatever it was. Might have been a little bit more than that. I forget. But it's still worth it. I mean, you're not going to need any more. You can't really get any more out of your house unless you run 220 volt, or you have something that's totally different. And then maybe batteries are where you're going to get more power to be able to be clamped or whatever you're testing. But power input, yeah, it's the way to go for just a simple test bench in your house. You can go with that smaller one I have, and it's nice. It's 60 bucks, but remember, it's only 10 amps. Anything over 100 watts, you're really not going to be able to keep the voltage. Sanibel Robin, thank you for tuning in. Just hanging out. Hey, buddy, been watching your channel, been getting into it. I am so sorry. Hey, buddy, been watching your channel, been getting into it. Good stuff. Thanks, man. Thanks for tuning in. I try my hardest, and I try to put out content as much as I can, and, stuff that's interesting. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. Aaron T. Andy, I'm getting conflicting answers for sub-level on my head unit. Any advice on that? Do I set at 0 or 10 on the head unit, then set gains on amp? You always want to leave some headroom. So honestly, in my Eclipse, I have a 0 to 10 just like you, and it can go negative forever. I've set it at 10 and then had my bass knob set at max, but then again, you don't have any headroom for like music that might need a little bit more gain, you know what I mean? A little bit more oomph, because you're not really pushing it at 40 hertz, it's like rock music or something like that. I don't suggest you could set it at 0, but you can. You totally can set it at 0 and then set your gain appropriately. You might just need more gain on the amp if your sub is at 0, the level. So, I mean, I would set it like 7. Just right in the middle. So if you need a little bit less, you can turn it down and you're going to know the number that you're at. And then if you want a little bit more, maybe go to like 10. You know, I wouldn't say to go to 15 if you're set at 7 though. So maybe in the middle. I mean, honestly, it's personal preference. To be honest, every time I do an amp test bench, it is at 15 full tilt boogie. So is the gain. And you know what? I use my volume knob on my phone, and it's like analog. So it's kind of accurate, and it has very small increments, so I can get right to that 1% THD no problem instead of clicks. But I don't set the volume on the head unit full tilt boogie. That's at like 17, 18. Because everything else is so much higher. It's set high. I see the likes and stuff on Facebook. That's cool. Thank you, guys. Sanibel said, mine's on 0. The less the gain, the louder your speakers. Facts. I thought you need more gain, man. Come on. Hey, Mom, what's going on? Just trying the new StreamYard Premium that I got now, so I can stream on Facebook, YouTube, and all that stuff all at the same time. I thought it was pretty cool. Yeah, you know, we're always up late. Bobby B, I've got 220 accessible. I mean, you can do 220. I would talk to Derek, maybe, because I know he has bigger power supply stuff than I do. And then, yeah, he would probably be able to guide you that way. You could do it a lot of ways. You can have more than one power supply, and then you would just have to have each one on different circuit breakers so that it can handle more power. So you're not blowing fuses. Because you can only pull so much current out of your wall. You know, it's like rated for 1800 watts at 15 amps or something like that. So that's all that power supply is going to do. Yeah, it's pulling 100 amps of DC, or pushing 100 amps of DC, but it's only pulling like 12, 15 amps AC. Got lots of comments here. Dub Team LFS, thanks for tuning in, man. Yinglong, LTOs, are they good to run in the engine bay for a daily? You know what? That's a question not for me. I'm going to say no, unless they are protected. I mean, heat is the enemy of all things electronical, and unless they are protected by a really thick heat sink like the Titan 8s and something that's designed to be under a hood of a vehicle that's going to reach 240 degrees, yeah, definitely have something like that. Now, who to ask for that, I am not too sure. You could probably ask maybe Sean from Excess Power, or JY, Travis Young, or one of those guys. They might have more information on that than I can tell you. I wouldn't suggest it. I would just throw the lithium in the back and do a battery delete if you want to just run that, because you're going to run that as a daily, and I'm sure you're not going to put AGM in the back. I would just delete the front battery and then throw the lithium in the back. Insulated or non-insulated copper lugs? I mean, I know you talking about the input, like reducers and stuff like that. I know they have insulated and non-insulated. I don't like the non-insulated. I feel like if you turn it just a little bit too hard, it's going to just ground out, and that's not going to be good. So definitely insulated. I'm not too sure on the lugs, though. You know it. Love you, Mom. Thanks for tuning in. Come on, man. Smalarkey. Jeff Wallace, how come when I turn the gain all the way down, there's no bass coming out from the speakers, but when I turn it up, there's more bass? Hold on. How come when I turn the gain, I'm guessing, all the way down, there's no bass coming out from the speakers, but when I turn it up, there's more bass? What you're doing when you're turning up the gain, yes, it's a volume knob. No, it's a volume knob. So what you're doing is a gain is there so it can match what the head unit is giving it. If you had an amplifier that had no gain, and you had a head unit that had 2 volt pre-outs, and then you had a head unit that had 4 volt pre-out, and that gain was set at 2 volts on the head unit or on the amplifier, and you had no idea how to change it or knew what it was at, and the 2 volt head unit, it would work fine. You put on the 4 volt head unit, it's going to clip way earlier on your volume on your head unit, and there's no way you're going to be able to turn it down. I mean, you could turn it down with the sub level on the head unit, but we're not going to go there because it's literally doing the same thing. That's why I tell a lot of people, when you set your gain on your amp, make sure you have your bass knob where you want it, and know where it is, where you have it set at your no clipping level. Damn, more weight in the back end, trunk only club here. Yeah, oh, you talking about for those the LTOs you were more weight in the back. I mean, yeah, I think the biggest problem you're gonna have is space. Sanibel Robin, less gain, less distortion. You're turning gain up when head unit is low. You're telling your amp it's loud to match volume. Yeah, all you're doing is you're matching the pre-out voltage coming out of the head unit and then going to the amplifier to receive that preset, however you have the gain set, voltage. So if you have it, a 2-volt head unit and you have it clean coming out and it's at full tilt boogie before it's clipping and it's sending 2 volts, all you're doing is you're going on your amplifier and in a way setting it to receive 2-volt pre-out. That's all you're doing. The only way we can test that is through the output section of the AC voltage coming out of the speakers, and that's how we do it, where you can do it by a multimeter. The volt or the RMS that you're looking for divided by the resistance and stuff like that to get the AC voltage squared number. And I don't like telling people to do that. I mean, unless you're really trying to get your amp set and you have nothing. Buy a DD1, ask someone for a DD1, or buy an amp with a clip detector or stuff like that. I mean, honestly, today we're in a century where there's so many amps out there, or at least starting to be, where they have clip detector or some kind of clip detection on it, so you set your gain properly. And even when you have your gain set does not mean you're not going to clip, man. I don't know how many people, it's like, oh, well, I had my gain set professionally and I didn't touch nothing. And it's like, well, okay, your head unit was set at what volume when it was set for your gain? I don't know. Well, that's why. The guy didn't set it at full tilt boogie. I mean, you can, but it's not a good idea. Head units are going to clip at the RCA level too, man. I've tested it all. You want to set it clean at the head unit and then go back. I mean, gain, it's a thing, man. Subsonic filter, what is it about? I mean, infrasonic filter. I don't know why so many people call it subsonic filter. I've always known it as subsonic filter though. That's the thing, and it's actually infrasonic. And all it is a high pass crossover at the low end. And all you're doing is just pretty much, depending the subsonic, infrasonic filter, of what kind of slope it is. Say if it's a 0 to 35, I think usually they are, and you set it at 20 hertz. So at 20 hertz, it's going to be negative 12 dB, or at least I think around 4 times less output, I believe so, at that frequency compared to up. So whenever you're playing 25 hertz, we'll say that's a perfect octave from 20, but it's not. We'll say it's negative 6 dB from 30 hertz. And then 30 hertz, that's where you're still getting your full tilt boogie. Why people do that is so that, okay, my system will play down to about 28, 29 hertz. That's where you set it, so that whenever you're playing 25, 23, 20 hertz, your speaker isn't going like that. Yeah, you would think 25 hertz would know what an infrasonic filter is. Funk Bro, thanks for tuning in, man. What 6x9 does Kicker carry that can take a clean 100 watt RMS? I mean, anything of their KS and DS line. I believe the CS line will too. I really like their KS series. I mean, those are the ones I personally have. I've messed with them a lot. I've had the DS. I've never had the QS or the CS. CS are pretty nice too, man. Now 100 watts RMS, I mean, that's what you're pretty much matching it for on the amp. Mids and highs are a little bit different of how much power you're actually putting to it. Whenever you clamp it, it's weird. It's not like you're going to get a ton of power, because high frequencies don't need that much power. But I would go, because they're not too pricey, and they can handle 150 RMS, and they can take it, man. On 150 or more RMS amp by 4, I've done it. And the KS 6x9s. Scoop. What's up, Spencer? Seth Anderson, thanks for tuning in, buddy. How you doing? You want a little clip, LOL for burps. Right. Whenever you are competing in the lane, yeah, it's not like you're not going to clip. Like, there are some systems, you know, that are just so clean, the woofers can't even handle how much power the amp's going to do, so the amp's never going to clip. But usually if it's a system where, you know, you can throw more power to the woofers, or just your normal bass head system, you send an amplifier at 1% THD and that's it, and then you run it uncertified, you see the number differences, man. It's like 200, 300, 400 watt difference sometimes, especially on the bigger amps. And that can make or break a system. You can gain half a dB or more by just clamping a couple hundred watts, depending where your spectrum is of how your enclosure works and your woofers work and all that kind of fun stuff of your SPL of the vehicle. If you ain't clipping, you ain't loud. Subsonic. Well, we've been on here 29 minutes. We're having fun. Have you seen... Yeah, I just watched it. I was filling up some water for our water jug. Looked really good. It was only like 7 minutes long with the Sundown Type E in the Profab enclosure from Down for Sound. He hooked it up to the JP8 and stuff like that. Absolutely, man. I like that video, and I like how he went into it, used the DATs, found the tuning frequency. I think whenever he does that, and he keeps saying it runs low, I feel like that DATs, yes, it could quote figure out a tuning frequency, but I think it's figuring out the tuning frequency of everything combined, the speaker and the box. Just like a sealed box, the tuning changes when you put a different woofer in because of the electrical compliance and just how the woofer reacts in that enclosure size relevates of the tuning frequency of the darn sealed box. So I feel like whenever he's throwing that DATs in there and putting a speaker in, I bet you if he put another speaker in, that tuning frequency would change and it'd be the same enclosure. Like, I would test it with a drastically over dampened sub and then throw in a tiny little kicker and see if the resonance tuning changes. Otherwise, it was a great video, man. I know I like to get my hands on that DATs to check it out. If you can smell your coil, you're probably clipping. When you can smell it, it's already too late. Damage has been done. It just depends how much. Thank you, man. What's the difference with my sub low pass set at 80 hertz to 24, 80 hertz 36? All that is a dB slope. I'm surprised it's 36. Usually it's like a 12 or 24. That might be on your head unit. Oh, knocking the camera over. You'd be surprised how small this room. Like, I have nowhere to put my legs. So what it is the negative 24 dB slope is a, I think that's a more drastic, or is that sharper? It's either more drastic or sharper, but either way, each one of those are more drastic of a slope of where you have it set at compared to a slower runoff. So if you would have it set at negative 24, it would be a slower roll-off, and if it's negative 36, it's going to be a sharper roll-off, stuff like that. Most systems are usually negative 12 dB because you run into phase issues whenever you mess with slopes and low pass and high pass for your mids and highs between your woofer and how everything works with the vehicle and how sound waves work. So that comes down to a phase issue. Honestly, my entire life, all I did was play a couple songs and see which one sounded better. Because you'll be able to tell, like on a real bass heavy song, it might sound good on both, and then you put on a song that's not so bass heavy, and it's like, that other one sounded a little bit fuller, and it's because of the phase issue. It was just aligning better. Got lots of comments here. Jeez, guys. Why do decks have a better crossover than amps? I think it's just because of technology. If you look at an amp, there's dials. An amp, everything's digital. I feel like, I know the kicker, what was it? The one Kip designed, helped design. The, not the KZ, KS, KX. It's a 900.5. Anyway, it had a digital display and everything was like that. I feel like if an amp had a digital display and a digital DSP, you could have a lot more flexibility on switching stuff around. Dub Team, anyone here check their subs with multimeter from time to time, see if it's still on the same impedance after heavy runs. Right. I've checked it, but I've ran into issues where I was losing tinsel leads and stuff, and I was like, man, it doesn't sound good, and then there was something wrong. Yeah, usually whenever you're checking your impedance and stuff like that, yeah, you know you were doing something wrong. Probably clipping a little bit. I know on woofers, usually the resistance starts to go down whenever they start to get cooked. Seth Anderson, does Kicker have an 8-inch mid-range speaker or just coaxials? I don't know. I know they have the the 8-inch Comp R, but it's not considered a mid-driver. That's just a like subwoofer, a small subwoofer. They have 6-inch coaxials that have like removable centerpiece, so that you can move the tweeter somewhere else, and then it works just as a mid-driver by itself. 8-inch, I don't believe they do. I'm gonna have to double check. What's going on, Amanda? Is John sleeping? What's he doing? Jeffy, coil smell just means it's still breaking in. Absolutely. Just breaking in. That's all it's doing. You gotta break it in more. Come on. That's just your resin. It's breaking in. Does a vehicle airspace matter when tuning an amp and building an enclosure? Absolutely. Your vehicle is almost the second enclosure. I was talking to Zach about that, or no, Jake Zimmerman, and when I was describing my enclosure, the Cookie Monster, and he was like, wow, that almost sounds like a 6-order, like how the port and all that other kind of stuff. And I'm like, you know what, you're right. It really, it reacts like one, because when I put one window down, I can play lows. I put both windows down, I can't do that. I can play louder on different frequencies, and that's the same thing as if you would have a 6-order and your port in the front, like, would be behind your head, and changing that. So whenever you have a vehicle, the size of the vehicle is going to drastically change, just as you would making the box smaller or bigger and stuff like that. So absolutely, the size of the vehicle, the positioning of the woofers, the positioning of the port, the location of all those, everything makes a difference. Oh wait, let me get this one. Yes, head unit. Yeah, I would just set it at 24 or 12. Honestly, I would set it at 12. I wouldn't even look at it twice. Okay, I already got that one. Eddie, thanks for tuning in, man. What amp can be used with the Kicker Solo X18 other than Warhorse? Will Kicker release the Warhorse? Okay, I can answer the first one. I mean, honestly, it's a 3.5-inch coil. I have the KX2400 on it, and I wouldn't put it on any other amp. You could put it a little bit more power, but I mean, anything around the 2500 to 3000 RMS range of whatever impedance you're ran at, it's going to be fine, and you shouldn't have any problems. Now, if you're doing SPL, of course, you could throw some more on there, and just like anything, you can never have too much power, but you have to, with great power, you have to have great responsibility, or your stuff will not last. And I cannot answer that last question. I cannot confirm nor deny. Andy, if you go live, they will come. Absolutely, Bobby B. Number one right there. David Frost, what's going on, man? Thanks for tuning in, buddy. How you been? Kip Litzy in the chat. What are you doing up? It's late, Kip. What you doing? Marine 8-inch coaxials. There you go. See, I'm not too familiar with the Marine, so that would work. Absolutely. Thanks for tuning in, Kip. Love you, buddy. John's sleeping. He's always sleeping. Let's see. Gonna snatch a new Solo X when they drop. Absolutely. I want to get 2 10s for Kayla's car. I already got 2 CX1800s ready to run on that, just in case they don't have an amp that runs with it. Or if they do, if it's not ready yet, I'll have something to power it. Parker DeSalle messed one of his 8Ks amps trying to blow. You know what? I watched 2 minutes of that. Bryson distracted me, and I didn't get to watch the rest. I watched him. He was talking about which DS18s, and that was it. That's as far as I got. Kip, have a dog in his last days. He is getting up to go to the bathroom about every 2 hours. He's outside, and here I am. That's the only thing. I mean, I love cats because you don't have to walk them and take them to go to the bathroom and stuff like that. You can go on vacation. You don't have to worry about them. Dogs, they're another kid. I had one dog named Ginger. She was part Beagle, part Jack Russell, and part Collie. She was awesome. I don't need another dog. They're awesome, though. I'm just an animal person, too. Hey, Kip. Hey, Bobby. Name the dog Rig. Got him. What is impedance rise? What is box rise or impedance curve? It's something that you really don't have to worry about, and it happens so fast, especially with music. It's all over the place. But what it is pretty much just the acoustical spring of the enclosure working with the driver and pretty much forcing the air against the driver so it doesn't move in a way and creating resistance. So whenever your impedance rises, meaning that it's working well with the enclosure and that it's being efficient. When the impedance goes down, it means it's not. Usually what happens is your woofer unloads. It can be on your top spectrum of a high frequency or on the bottom. And then you have your highs and lows throughout the octaves as well, but then the enclosure really isn't working, so then it's kind of skewed. Something you don't have to worry about unless you're competing, and even if you are competing, don't worry about it. Get more power. Find out a way to get the most out of your amp and the most out of your subs, and with the best electrical to back everything up, and you'll never have to worry about box rise, man. You'll never have to worry about it unless you're trying to get away with the most with the least. I think that's the best way to put it. Heck yeah, Kip. I'm ready. I know I had one of them on each of those 12 L7s, and they were screaming, man. They did not like it with 2 L7 X10s. They'll enjoy it. I was thinking mine are only the 43, so they're 2 ohm stable. But I was thinking about just sending it, trying to get the dual 2s, run it at 1 ohm so I can get literally like pretty much the most out of it. I just got to watch how low I play or how I build the box. Yet again, box rise. That's probably the only way box rise really makes a difference. But again, whenever you run it at like 1 ohm, you're going to see 1.3, 1.5 and above. And it just depends how much power you're clamping and how well the amplifier is built, if it'll handle that lower impedance, and how your electrical is. So I'm kind of taking a chance on dual 2s, wiring them on each, but I'm kind of stuck with that because I got the 43s instead of the 46s. But you got to do with what you got. Dave Frost, been rough, man. Was in a coma. Oh no, man. I'm sorry about that. In October, and my ex-fiance. Oh no. In the car group. Well, I mean, she was no good for you, and it was a good decision that everything happens for a reason. And just bought a house, so I'm stuck paying everything. Well, you got a house, you got a car, man. You got your life, you're alive, you're breathing. Be happy, man. And whenever things happen like that, happen for a reason. Was that a wink, Kip? Was that a wink? Megan, what is going on? I hope your system's running good. I heard it's sounding pretty good now. Megan needs a new system. She has a very budget kicker setup, but it's a nice 212 comp. Older style, I think 2013, 2011. Black comps with yellow in the middle. And an older kicker comp box. The one with the 6-inch arrow. Just starting to fall apart. It's been its time playing all that wasted information, Megan. What are you doing? You know it's gonna destroy your box. We'll blame Jeffy. Thanks for tuning in, Megan. Kip, we need to put together some demos for you guys on Unmasked showing impedance rise. Absolutely. You know, I think that's a good idea because a lot of people, I mean, especially me, whenever I got into it, I tried to understand it, but I was like, you know what, I don't really know what I'm talking about, but I kind of understand because a woofer is always moving, you know, and you see it move more and move less, and it's like, why does it do that? There's more factors than just physical stuff, but there are electrical things going on as well. I think that would be cool to show where, you know, that, and then maybe like, hey, for those competition guys, you know, like, do you really want to wire down to the dirt? And if you do, how can you? And show guys that, you know, just how that works. I think that's a good idea. And I think that what you guys did on the Unmasked was showing the L7Xs, the 15 and the 10, and then people saying that we're teasing too much. That made me upset. I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? These guys are showing off their product. Yes, it's been a while, but at the same time, with everything going on, and then two, it's like, isn't this what you guys want to see? Like, you know it's coming in April, or around then, Q1, Q2, if everything goes right. What's the problem with seeing it now, instead of just not seeing it until then? Some people, man, I don't know. Did everyone catch the hi-fi? Yeah, I watched the tail end of it whenever he was at the post office. Megan, yes, sounds amazing. Yes, blame Jeffy. Dave, yeah, thanks, bud. I hit a deer and totaled a lot. Oh, no. Be careful on that bike. I know, I can't wait to get my bike street legal and running. What's going on, Basehead 30? This guy, okay, comments out of the blue. He's like, hey, I like what you do. I went back and rewatched every single video of yours and liked every single one. They needed some likes. Appreciate that, man. Need more people like you. All right, well, we've been live for 43 minutes. It's getting kind of late for me. I don't know about you guys. Probably going to grab a snack before I have to hit the hay. But I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in. I just wanted to check out the premium StreamYard I got now and just hang out and have some fun. So if you guys like what I do, obviously check out the Living Loud with Andy on YouTube if you're not there already. If you are, thank you guys so much. And guess I'll see you guys on the next one. Stay living loud.